boy. Yeah, that was not my favorite thing in the world. Apologies for the brief outage. Um, yeah, clearly I need to look through like a full manual, which I can't seem to find for this camera because it keeps turning on some sort of auto tracking, which means it flickers around the table a bunch of times and then loses focus, and I can't get it to go back where I want it. I just want it to stay still. That's my only goal. Anyways, I was deciding what to do about this second enemy. And I think what I want to do, and unfortunately, if they already have a threat, I can't really prevent them from doing insane attacks since they already have a threat. So I am just going to hit their weak point as well with just a targeted attack because it doesn't matter. And that will increase threat again. I do wish they used something other than weak points because weak point implies a good thing, whereas all the enemies I've seen, hitting another weak point is a bad thing. I guess it just makes them angry in this. I don't know. I'm going to use my second action to do a basic attack with my staff against the rat in the back. I realized if that was my intention, I needed to move here with my third movement point. Everything else still works exactly the same. Yeah, I just can't do a diagonal attack. It also doesn't matter which rat I attack. So, let's not do too cheaty face. It's not actually that bad to do what I was about to do, but because again, the game state would not have changed other than I'd be over one space and I had enough movement points to do that. All the attacks before that would have worked. But here we are. Let's do a staff attack. So we're targeting this rat. My staff is strength based and I have no strength, so this is just a d20 roll. I want that is a reason to hit the brown one. Okay. I want 2 or higher. And that is behind this camera. You know, I'm not even going to touch it. I'm just going to show 13 on the die. I will now not move it. And I move it over here just to give proof. 13 on the die. Which means with my practice staff, that is a double hit. So it didn't matter which rat I actually attacked here. I get to hit both spaces at the same time, thus defeating this rat. We'll remove it from combat like that. And I'm going to make room for the next rat in line, just so we have more rats on camera, easily visible. Ka-chow. And that was the sum total of my actions, so I am done for the turn. Here's hoping I'm not done for the combat, as it is now the foe's turn, and they get boss or 1 threat. Well, the boss can in fact do things, and as a group, they have 2 threats, so we're going to do the whip activation. I'll show that off camera because this is a new enemy type for us. With 1 threat, they do whip. So they're going to... Oh shoot, I need to look up that targeting symbol again. I do wish I had a little cheat sheet for that specifically, because enemies target a lot. Maybe I'll just get used to them. Technically, it will allow the attack to hit the most exiles. Okay. Okay, and then arrows pointing in target the closest exile, using only range. Pointing out, target furthest exile using only range. The yellow arrow, which is what we have here, is most exiles. Heart with the arrow pointing up, healthiest exile. And by that I mean most current health. Heart pointing down, target exile with the least health. I will try to remember that. I shall endeavor to remember that. Okay, so here we go. Whip. We're going to hit the most exiles. We have a move 5, and the attack is in a straight line. So I don't think he can hit multiple exiles. I'm wondering if he can hit one exile. The answer is probably yes. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Or 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't go any further because of the difficult terrain. Attacks the cleric. I don't know if there's any better way to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, there's not a better way to move because it does have to include itself laying straight along the line to the exile. Okay. So this is a blue die attack for 1 damage. The blue die does the sides of the grid, which are shoulders, arms, and hands. Let's see what gets hit. This is that slot, which is left hand. Left hand. Luckily, Zertle the Hungry Halfling Soother has the gloves. So he blocks the 1 damage. We put a wear token on the glove. The glove can no longer block any more damage, but we just negated 1, and that's all it needs to do, really. And we are on to the Ranger. So the Ranger has no sideways attacks, which makes this green rabid rat pretty awkward to attack. But if I mark it, oh, I should probably save my mark. Yeah, okay. I'm going to save my mark for the big one. And instead, let's just do a basic attack with my short bow. Let's make sure I get my tokens all back. So we put a basic, an action token on my bow. Wow, that took way too many tries to get out. And I just need to make an endurance 2+, because it doesn't matter where I hit. I need to make 2 attacks to kill this thing. Endurance 2+, my endurance is 2, so endurance +2, unless I, that's good. 16? I was going to say, unless I roll a 1 again, I'm guaranteed to get a hit. The other hit doesn't matter. Boom. I would also, I wonder if I can get a overlay that lets me show different attack grids pretty easily. I feel like I could get super fancy with this. I just don't know how fancy I want to get. It might be easiest to just use this camera right here, this one, and do basically a static shot that I just move an attack thing into and then a target thing into and go from there. Anyways, I get to attack again with my second action. Second regular action. I got even better. I got a total of 19. And that means this particular rat is dead. Ka-chow, because I just hit the last HP bubble. They are defeated. And now I would like to basic move, which gets us a combo and a move 3. Now I'd like to go 1, 2, 3. So I'm a little bit closer, but not in frenzy range of the rats. We learned that last time. Frenzy range of the rats is bad. Real bad for us. Okay. And that's our ranger's turn. Let's go ahead and do another threat card for the foe turn. Oh, all foes. The question I have, what order do they go in? Okay. All foes. Foes activate one at a time based on initiative order from lowest number to highest. Each foe is activated once regardless of their type. What is their initiative? Is that the initiative? Yep. Okay, that's the bottom left of their portrait card, which means the boss is lowest initiative. It has a 0. So the boss goes first, followed by rat number 3 and then rat number 4. The boss going first means it consumes 1 threat to do the whip attack once again. And I believe it can go 1, 2, 3. Wait. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can it just turn itself right now? Because it's gonna have trouble attacking anybody if it can't turn itself. Large foes. I think so. Yeah, I don't think it costed anything to go like that. As long as it can get to that space with one part of it. Okay. So, unfortunately, this is a blue die. And with AoE attacks, I believe they only roll the die once and hit the same point on everybody. We just had this last time, but I already forgot. AoE on foes. Is only rolled one time regardless of the number of targets hit. All targets take the full damage value of the attack. Very cool. I mean, not for us, but for them. So the hit die rolled that one, which is the right arm. Right arm slot. That's going to be for both of them. Cleric has no armor in the right arm, so they take a damage down to 2 health. Rix the Plucky Fellish Scout, my ranger, does have armor in that slot. So we put a wear token on that armor, and they take no damage. I'm glad this whip doesn't really do damage. Otherwise, we'd be in trouble. And now we activate the little rats, and they have a move 2 bite because there's no threat. So we start with the blue one. It goes 1, 2. And then this one goes 1, 2. And that's where we stop. Okay. So far going great. Back to the cleric. Kind of low on health, but let's regain our action points. And the question is, do I want to spend my last speed to form up again? I don't think I need to. I think I just want to do a basic action, which gets us a combo as I move to here. And then I want to do one action to pummel, which costs us 1 combo. And so I get to do that choice of 3 different attacks against all 3 of these enemies. I'm wondering what the best target is. Okay, once again, it doesn't really matter where I attack on the little rats. I don't have a good... Pummel is not effective against the rats, I should say. So I think I'm just going to do a targeted attack on this space and on... Wait, no, I want that space, which gets them a threat, sure. And then on that space, which gets them another threat. But that leaves them vulnerable to my quarterstaff. Wait, hold on. That space, because that rat will be vulnerable to the bow attack. That means they don't gain that threat. And then they don't gain that threat, which is huge. I don't want them to have a whole bunch of threat. The hit points on this rat are numerous. You can see 9 different zones. My question is, or my challenge is, are there any spaces where I can hit a critical point with my pummel? And the answer is no currently. However, I can come close on a couple of these. Right? Yeah. They're all kind of buried, so these coming in from the outside attacks don't do what I need them to do. But if I put a hit here, then my ranger might have a good attack following from that. They can hit a weak point, or a critical point, I should say. And that feels pretty good. The other option is there any way that I could do pummel again now that I've done some damage in order to do even more damage? And I need to think about that for a second, because I think the answer is yes. All right. Yeah. Not on the big rat, though. On this one, if I hit that one with a side swipe from the right, then my second pummel against that same enemy will go through a weak spot and kill it. So that's what I do. I combo again to pummel again, use my last action. For this little rat, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to hit that space. For this rat, I hit this space as a side swipe, and that means I automatically hit the final space, so the pink rat is defeated. Unfortunately, that gets them another threat. But any dead foe, I think, is worth it. And then I have one more hit on the big one, the giant rats. Once again, I don't think this matters. I think I'm just going to target that space. And then we're going to find out, because I think the ranger's going to have a good turn. If we can get enough combo, which I just realized we don't. I just used all of our combo. I think the ranger will still have a good turn. It's going to be fine. Okay, gotta remember how the broadhead arrows work on the ranger. Quiver, broadhead. So, hold on. Put a normal action token on your practice shortbow. That makes sense. Remove the cube from the practice quiver. That also makes sense. You still make the roll for the bow. Oh, the broadhead increases maximum range and uses the broadhead attack pattern instead of your regular attack pattern. Okay. So then you hit a specific target and then move upwards if you get a second hit. Okay, that's how broadhead works. Thank you for the reminder. The hair in my mouth. Well, not the ranger's turn yet. We have enemy activation. Yes, yes, we do. Mob, which is significantly less scary now that we've killed most of the mob, most of the rats. So they spend a threat to do a move 5 with bite against the healthiest enemy. Right now they are tied, so I assume it goes just towards the nearest enemy. And the bite is an adjacent attack, so this is going to be yellow die for 1 damage, and I'm hoping it hits right hand. Is that right hand? No, that's left hand. Wrong hand. So I take 1 more damage, going down to 1 health. I might want to heal myself. That said, that's the only enemy who activates, so that's really good. We're going to do Rix the Plucky Fellish Scout, doing a bow attack against the big rat. Ooh. I'm just deciding if I want to move first to get some combo points. I get all my action tokens back. What can I do with a downward attack on the practice shortbow? Oh, not a lot. I chose poor targets with the cleric. I'll be honest. I wasn't thinking clearly. I can still hit 2 things because of the critical. Or... okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a basic attack. I am not going to do the quiver, I don't think. No, I don't need to. Then again, it's free, so I will do the quiver. So I get to choose my target and then attack up from my target. I will also mark. So I put my cube on the giant rat. And let's do this. So I'm doing endurance +2. And I got 5 +2 is 7 out of 12. I could attempt to increase this to 12 by spending one of my roleplay points and also using the practice focus. From the cleric, sorry. But I have to roll a 16 plus in order to actually have it work. I don't think that's going to happen. Instead, I will just do my 1 damage, which is targeted. I will hit right here. And I get to pay a mana to do an additional targeted hit, which is going to be right here. And that gives them a threat. Yeah, just 1 threat on the boss. Coughing break. That was my first attack. I mean, I don't know, that felt pretty good. Now, I will basic attack again against the boss. Once again, this is endurance +2. I rolled a 1, so I miss. Because of course I do. There's nothing I can do about that. I am going to do a basic move, gaining a combo. I don't know, going there. I don't think it actually matters, but I am going to go there. Okay. I don't know, could have been worse, but a miss kinda is bad. And by kinda, I mean it's really bad. Alright, foe turn. I may see my cleric go down again. Boss, which we do have. And the boss has a 1 threat attack, so it drops by 1. And this is the whip again. It can't hit more than 1 exile. And I don't know that it can actually position itself to hit that exile, the cleric. So I think it just goes up 1 and attacks the ranger. Oh wait, it doesn't try to stay at range, so it goes and whips the ranger. This is a blue die for 1 damage. That is left hand again. No armor in left hand. I think I'm just going to take the 1. Yeah, I have a reaction to just block 2, but it's refreshes on a rest, which can be a little bit pricey. So I want to keep it for a special occasion. And now it is back to my cleric. And I notice, can't help but notice, that there's a rat with exactly 1 health in front of me, and I could pummel. So I do that. I combo, pummel. Everybody around me takes 1 hit. They're going to gain a threat from this rat taking a final hit. That's okay. It's dead. The boss also takes a hit. Now, can I activate any criticals if I pummel? What are my options? Down from the bottom left to the top right, targeted attack, or sideswipe from the right? Yes. Yes, I can. So if I go through this way to hit that target, I go through critical point, which also hits this middle target. The critical system is a little odd at times, but it is cool. I think my biggest problem with my biggest gripe, and it's not a big gripe, but my biggest gripe with the combat in this is the use of both this combat grid for like target of your attack, and also this combat grid for health tracking. It gives you just I don't know. It's just a little bit too much to think about all at the same time. It's a little overwhelming. It's some really cool ideas. I like them both individually, but when you wrap them together, it becomes a little more overwhelming. Anywho, that was my pummel. Then I do a minor action to use my practice kit on myself, which is a wisdom check, wisdom +2. That rolled a 5. Where's the 5? There's the 5. What angle do I hold this die at? Right there. +2 is 7, which means I only restore 1 health, unfortunately. But still, most of the boss's attacks only do 1 health, so that's not the worst. And if I do a quarterstaff, is there anything amazing I can do with that? No, not particularly. Right. I have to spend a cube from my kit to do the healing ability. I might still do the quarterstaff just to get some damage in. Oh, wait, I can't. I'm not adjacent. I would have to pummel. Is a pummel good? Also, no, not amazing. Unfortunately. So I think what I do is I spend my regular action to just do a minor action move. I go up adjacent to this rat, I increase combo, and that's it. Is that a problem? No. Yeah, he can't multi-target us with his bigger attack. So that seems good to me. And it's the foe's turn. Let's see what they do. 1 threat. Oh, they're finally not activating. My goodness. They gain a threat. And it's back to my ranger, who definitely needs to run away. So we get our action tokens back. We're going to spend my minor action immediately to go 1, 2, 3 with difficult terrain. We gain a combo. And okay, based on how we've lost stat points and everything, I'm never gonna run. Well, okay, I'm gonna run away this time, just to there, so I can shoot it with a bow. Hello, Gunblade. What's going on in here? We're fighting some giant rats. Well, a giant rat, and then some more regular-sized rabid rats. They're all dead now, other than the giant one, and it's going well so far. Also, welcome. First time chatting. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully audio is okay for you. Let me know if anything is out of whack. Yeah. So we did our basic move. We're going to spend an action. I think we just use our bow. And then I'm okay using my last mana to mark or to activate mark. Just do an extra point of damage if I need to. But first, let's roll endurance +2. And knowing my luck, I'm going to roll a 1. That is a cock's die, sorry. I should have taken the cock's die. I rolled a 1. Yes. Okay. So this game, have you seen Arydia before at all? If not, I can do like the heavy introduction to combat. It is not a light system. This is a complex, meaty combat system, which has upsides and downsides. As you can see, I rolled a 1. That was bad. We're going to go ahead and spend our last action point here on my practice short bow again. Then this might be the board game for you. So I'm going to hold this up so you can see exactly what I'm doing. This is my bow. If it focuses, I have the attribute I'm doing over here, which is endurance. It's not focusing. I'm going to bring it closer. There we go. Ooh, the close up. This is my attribute. If I roll a 2 or higher on my endurance check, which is at this point, anything but a 1, I get the white targeting hex, or whatever shape that is. And if I get a 12 or higher, I get to also add the gray targets. My range is down here, 3 to 4. I am 1, 2, 3 away from the giant rat, so we're all good on that end. And I just need to roll high-ish. I spent both of my actions. This is my second action to do one more attack. I rolled a 6. I get to add my 2. That gets me an 8. 8 is not 12, so I only get to do one attack. And now here's where it's going to be also complicated. I'm going to try and lift the giant rat to show you what's happening. Oh, flawless. Yeah, an 8 hits, so I just needed a 2 or higher to get any damage. This is the targeting grid for the enemy. So if you look real closely, you can see little black circles. Those are the hit boxes, including this one with a little target in it. This guy's got 3 health left. And with my bow attack, I start from the top and go down until I find a valid unhit spot. So I could choose any column I wanted to do 1 damage. If I'd gotten a 12 or higher on my roll, I could have hit 2 circles, which is obviously better. In this case, I would have loved to have hit both of these circles and then used my mark, popped my mark to kill it. That's not what's going to happen. I have glare right over one of its HP bubbles. There we go. So instead, I might... it's already got enough threat to activate its big ability. No, so I'm going to hit this bubble right here. So I'm going to put a health on that. I'm going to move this back over here where it was. Put a hit here. I am going to pop my mark to do... No, I don't need to. The cleric can just do a sideswipe to kill this thing. I don't want to spend my last mana points on a mark. So I keep referencing mark. Because the enemy has my cube, I could pay a mana point to do 1 targeted hit anywhere I want, as long as I've dealt at least one hit. I don't think I need to, because the cleric can come in and either do 2 attacks or do 1 really good attack, depending on what I roll. So clearly, I'm going to roll a 1. That's all of my actions, so we are back to the foe's turn. We trade off turns. And the foe gets the card that I drew earlier today, that added to the deck earlier today. Old Bread. I don't know what this does. You hold the stale bread you found in the rat cellar. It looks moldy, but nourishing. Active player chooses to either have 1 exile, gain 3 health, discard this card and draw again, or... Sorry, not discard, but... What was that? Trash this card, essentially. Trash this card and draw again, or discard this and draw again. I'd like to save the 3 health for later. So I'm going to discard this and draw again. There's a chance the rat just doesn't activate. I could be fine. Who knows? Man, wouldn't that be something? It does feel in flavor for this game. This game is very, like, RPG heavy. So stuff like that would not surprise me. Boss activates with this threat card. The giant rat is, in fact, a boss. The giant rat has 3 threats, and it has... over here. It has an ability that costs 3. So here's what we do. We pay 3 threat. It now targets the exile with the most current health, which is our cleric at 2. It can move up to 6, and it does a chomp with a bonus damage. Oh no. Oh no. Well, it's already in position to chomp the cleric, so it doesn't need to move, and it can't move such that it also hits the ranger. And chomp is the gray die. Okay. So this is going to be base 3 damage, and we're going to see where it hits. No matter what, I believe our cleric is down. This is our gray die. We're going to roll it to see what gets hit. It is, in fact, the leg slot. So we have this die. We have one marked spot on the player armor board, which is this thing down here. It shows you which spot gets hit. I don't have armor in good repair in that slot, so I'm going to take full damage. What's really cool about these, kind of hyping this up, the other boxes that have a little gray dot in them are the other possible values for this die roll. So you can see all the possible slots that could get hit with this die. We happen to get legs, which my armor is currently dead on my legs for my cleric. So I'm going to take all 3. And you know what's really unfortunate? If I had healed 3, I would have survived this attack. Instead, I'm going to go down to 0. And I get knocked down. But hopefully I get up again. I'd like to say they're never going to keep me down, but that's possibly not true. Okay, so... well, some things are going to keep them down. So, Zertle the Hungry Halfling Soother is my cleric. Which is another fun part of this game. They let you, like... same wavelength, same wavelength. They let you, like, name and give a title to your character, which is fun. So, when you are knocked down in combat, when you're at 0 health, you can't do anything on your turn, you still take a turn, which means you do nothing, and then the foes get an additional bonus turn, essentially. So it's really dangerous to be knocked down, and it happens to me a lot, apparently. One good thing is you get once per combat, you get Surge. So you put one of these little wear tokens onto your character portrait, which I'm going to show you over here. Character portrait has a wear token, and you're doing what's called Surge. So you're still at 0 hit points, but you stand up. You get your full allotment of actions for the turn. And then at the end of your turn, if you're not at 1 hit point or higher... Yeah, no, these... I hope you're ready for me to, like, gush over some of the physical components. I will say, this game has a lot of, like, gimmicks in it, and I'm here for basically all of them. I think it's just super fun and well thought out how they do all of these things. So we'll get to my actual actions in a second. I'm just going to gush. So we have all the grooves for things, all these little tokens for, like, your wisdom bonuses are removable, and they have higher bonuses on a punch-out sheets. All of your skills are things you can... let me put the camera on the right point. Are things you can swap in and out as you learn new skills. Your portrait and all this stuff is all stuff you can take out. Here's your whole armor setup, including a little space for your d20. I'm loving all of this. I will show you one of my favorite things. The thing that actually got me to buy this game in the first place. Despite being definitely a gimmick. So we have your character, who is a mix of a race, the sex, and the class. And once you pick a class, which is the body, a pre-painted mini, and your race, what they call a character, you just take one of the pre-painted heads that matches your portrait, slot it into the body, and now you have your completely custom character ready to go. I find that it's a gimmick. It's super cool. I don't know. I like it a lot. Anywho, let's do my action surge turn. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hopefully not waste myself. I'm going to spend my last cube from my practice kit to do a wisdom check to heal myself. If I get a 2 to 11, I heal for 1. I got 8, and my wisdom is plus 2, 10. So I heal for 1. I was really hoping to heal for 2. But at least I didn't heal for none. That's just, little victories. So now I'm not going to just fall down at the end of this. And now let's do some attacks. I'm going to do practice staff. This is a strength attack. I have no bonus to strength. We roll. I, of course, get a lovely 1 again. It's true. 1 is better than nothing, except on a d20. So I swing and a miss. This is becoming all too common for me. So now I'm going to decide, is there any way... Nope, I gotta swing again. And hope for a 12 or up. And I will show off the practice staff again. And if you're wondering, yes, I always roll like garbage. This is not unique to this game. I can't... Ooh, that is not focusing. I can't roll worth beans. There we go. So this has a different attack pattern. You come down from above on your first hit, and then you move to the right on your second hit, which should be perfect for the giant rat if I can get a 12. And it has to be a natural 12 because I have no strength. So we're going to try again. And not get a 1. I got a 6. 9. No, yep. Cannot make it to 12. I get to do 1 damage. And I need to look up my mark. So I do my 1 damage there. And I'm going to look up the rules for mark. They provide little reminder cards for everything. When the marked foe takes damage. So we're going to do that. We are going to spend our last mana on the ranger. The marked foe took damage. We get to do 1 extra point of damage wherever we want. And where I want, I just noticed that one of these cubes is a different color. Interesting. Where I want is down here, the last hit. Yeah. So they have these standard double-sided, like, here's iconography and some of the basic rules. Then they also have a bunch of extra reminder cards for all of your abilities, which is great. We've defeated the giant rat. It took all of our power to do so, but we did it. It doesn't really matter how much it takes as long as you win. Ish. So, we're done with combat. We get to flip this token over to the adventure side to say, hey, we're in adventure mode again. I'm going to put that on top of the threat deck so it's easy to see. And we have a treasure chest that I have been so excited to go loot this whole time. So we're going to go do just that. We're going to put both of our people over there. When you're out of combat, yeah. It doesn't matter that Zertle died briefly. He's back now. That reminds me, before I open this treasure chest, I get to spend a mana point on Zertle, the Hungry Halfling Soother, my cleric, to refresh all of the cubes on his healing kits so that they're ready to go next time. You know, when I die again. This is unfortunately a very common occurrence now. I've had 2 battles that were not tutorials, and I've died in both of them. Let's open a chest. let's open a chest, which is the first chest I've ever opened. We're getting in early on this adventure. Let's see what we get from the chests. Chests. There are two types of chests. Pathless chests and path chests. This is a path chest. When you gain a path chest, each exile gains one item at random from their corresponding path chest. Ooh. Okay. This is cool. Let's see. We have you, and we have you. We have very specific little chests for each of our classes, and we get to get a random item from this, which I'm excited for. Cool. So, I don't get to look at what's inside this chest. I guess I'm gonna hold it over here sideways so nobody's looking. You can tell that I'm also not looking. It's turned away from me. You can feel around for the size of them, so you can kind of make a decision based on size. And I think I'm going to just go with this one. I don't really know what I'm going for, because I don't know what's available. But this one's big. Big seems good. Okay, good. Good. Really good news. I'm glad I spent my resources to refresh my kit, because I just got a better kit, which comes preloaded with resources. So you live and you learn, kids. And by kids, I mean me. Well, no, hold on. I need to let me try that again. You die and you learn. Oh, darn. I mean, I suppose it's not the worst thing that I filled it up, because now that goes into my inventory and I could swap out my kit mid-combat and get additional healing one time. Okay. Next. Exactly. Dying is just you playing the game correctly. I'm gonna do the same thing for my ranger class. I feel 4 double-sized tiles? No. That's a single? No? These are huge. I'm gonna just choose randomly and choose this one. Oh my goodness. Good. A cracked short bow. Oh man, this short bow is so cracked. So the theme that I'm seeing is these path items are similar to what you already have, but they have a critical effect of 20 plus. So that's what I'm looking forward to. What happens if you can't store stuff in your inventory? I'll figure that out later, because I need to be done fairly soon. Let's wrap up this quest. We have cleared out the basement. We've defeated the giant rat. We get to return upstairs to the lady. So we go boop ba doop ba doop ba doop and go up these stairs right here. So I get to clean up the cellar because we don't need it. And then we have the lady and her house right here. Move the threat deck out of the way. And we're going to go talk to this lady. So you have an NPC card. We'll say the halfling is the first player, so the ranger would be the one reading the card if this were a multiplayer game. Here's the old lady right here. And by old, I mean just she's a lady. She's scared. Reward. Haha. Wait. So what happens? I need to read the rewards of the enemies for victory. That's an important part. By defeating a bunch of rabid rats, again, we get experience. So we each get 1 experience token. Kaboom. And kaboom. We also roll a die and get a result, get a loot based on what we roll. So I'll just roll this green die. I rolled a 6. And with a 6, I get to get 1 monies. You can see it right there. 2 through 9 is 1 monies. I'll give that to the cleric. I'm trying to just distribute money. I knew I forgot something. By defeating the giant rat, we get another experience, as well as key 1. Key 1. Kaboom! So it's key item. We have to flip it over and see what it is now. Giant rat tail. A giant rat tail from the giant rat you killed in the cellar. Gross, but it should act as proof of your deeds. Keep this card in the party inventory until you find a card with the exact text, "Help me remove these pests." Then draw event 4 and put this in the banish pile. Help me remove these pests. Which is, coincidentally... Wait, the exact words? Oh no. Because this says, help me remove these pests. Haha, she says it. Yeah, that... I'm just not going to talk to this lady. I'm just going to keep this rat tail forever as proof of my amazingness. My awesomeness. So we turn the giant rat tail into the lady who says, hey, thank you. And we get event 4 and we trash the giant rat tail. It goes away. We do not need it any longer. And what does event 4 say? Baked goods. Vera praises your efforts. Thank you so much. I don't have any squills, but I made you something. She has you sit at the table and serves you freshly made sweet rolls frosted with blue icing. They look delicious, and you can't wait to eat one. Look or eat are my 2 conversation options. So if you were doing multiple people at the same table, one person would be reading the card and they wouldn't read these 2 options down here. The other people would be listening to this description and trying to figure out what the prompts are, essentially. Now, if I didn't know what the prompts were, I don't think I'd latch on to look as one of the options. So I think I'd just go straight to eat, I'll be honest. Oh no. Alright. Too late, you realize the taste of something strange. The paralysis takes hold quickly. You watch helplessly as Vera proceeds to rummage through your belongings. I won't bother looking for squills, since if I steal them, they'll just turn to ash. I'll take this instead. She waves happily as she slides out the front door. Oh no. So the exile with the most money in their purse loses all money. That's sad. They both have the same amount, so I'm going to do Cleric, who just got some. Add job 4 to the job deck. So we have these boxes of cards that have active and inactive cards. So you can add active or things from the inactive section to the active section as your game goes on, and vice versa. And some cards, just get destroyed. So job 4 gets added to the job deck. I don't know how to interact with jobs yet. We'll find out. We trash NPC 3. No kidding. This lady who just drugged us. uh, and we flip small 1 to the B side. So that's the tile we are currently on gets flipped to the B side? Hold on. I know how to do this. Same thing for all the map tiles. They're in boxes like this. They have active and inactive. I get to throw the A side into inactivity and pull out the B side, which is now a cold house. The fire on the hearth has burned out. The room is cold and empty. The woman calling herself Vera has vanished. Get a little bit of flavor text, and then you flip it over, and it has the room where Vera's now gone. Here's another gimmicky thing that I love. You have the roof of a house, but when you actually enter it, you get to see this tile, which perfectly overlays it and just gives you a view inside. It's pretty cool. We also gain an experience from this event that I'm still going through. And we remove this card, this event. It is trashed. So hopefully the job is to hunt this person down, because now we're mad. It's drugged in the corner here. And that will be where we call it. Basically, we're going to go back out to the world map, which looks like this. And we are here. It has a world map, right? And this is what we've explored so far. We're very early in this game. Then the world map also has like just a really neat implementation. They did a really good job with the physical components of this. I've already gushed about it enough, but man, they've thought this thing through. I like it a lot. Anyways, I need to go. So, thank you for watching. I hope you had fun with this. I know I did. If you want to see more of both this and everything else that I do, I stream Arydia every Friday at about 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. United States and Canada Pacific time. For context, it is currently 2:41, so adjust your time zone accordingly. I also try to stream 10:30 p.m. Friday, this same game. So hopefully I can come back later and do the same thing. I stream every Monday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. That's when I do a Pal World stream, and then at 10:30 p.m. I do a Marvel Legendary stream. And then on Wednesday, 1 p.m., I do another Pal World stream. That's how it is currently. I'm gonna have to actually add that to my schedule so people know that. So yeah, if you want to catch more, I'll be on later tonight, hopefully. And then yeah, we'll go from there. Everything I do is also recorded on Twitch as a video on demand. Gunblade, thanks for following. Welcome to the channel. It was great having someone actually here to chat with. I hope you enjoyed this game as much as I did so far. Lost my train of thought. Yes, video on demand here on Twitch, and also export to my YouTube channel. There's a link, or should be a link, in my Twitch channel description somewhere down below to my YouTube channel. It's also the same name as here. I'm at 156. You can view the whole playlist of Arydia content, as well as all the other things I have streamed in the past. Oh, and I'm still streaming. And if you're watching on YouTube, hello, welcome. Hope you're enjoying this, again, as much as I am. And if you want to come just hang out on Twitch and watch live and have a good time, feel free to do that. And I just realized it's really weird just showing just the tabletop. Normally I have a face cam for this portion. Here we go. I'll do custom face cam. There we go. So anyways, I'm getting a little loopy. This was too silly. Um, that's basically what I look like. Uh, yeah. Come watch me play games live on Twitch if you're on YouTube. This isn't like pressuring you to do so, but it's a chill time. We just hang out and have a good time. Anyways, guys and gals and everyone else, thank you for watching and liking and commenting and chatting and following and subscribing and all the other good stuff you can do both here on Twitch and on YouTube. And I will see you next time.